Just my quick story, I guess, to share with y'all about my black girl magic. I have often been the friend who was not quite accepted by my own people, but I was questioned by other people. A little bit about me, I grew up as an army brat, so I have literally lived all around the world. A lot of times I would be the only black girl at a school. And I didn't think it was anything different because at home my mother and my father always instilled a very strong pride in who I am and where I come from. I would probably say one of the most interesting situations I had was when I went to college. I played sports in high school. I did basketball, I ran track, like I was a nerd, and I'm cool with that because like nerds are cool or whatever, right?
I know that's right.
That's right, you know what I'm saying? So the school that I went to, it was a predominantly white school. The total black population was less than 2%. So my roommate, she had never experienced black people. The only thing she knew about us was what she saw on TV and what she was taught by her parents. So y'all know it didn't start out good, right? Yes, it didn't. But throughout the course of that year, she got comfortable enough to start asking certain questions. And at first I'm like, yo, who is you talking to like that? I'm really from Chicago. I'm just up here trying to play ball, but you don't know. But then I said, no, okay. I opened up and I had a conversation with her. You know, well, why do you guys do this? I said, well, we don't all do. You know, it was just certain stereotypes that she had, certain beliefs that had been placed in her. So that was really my first experience in sharing completely who I was with somebody. And I took that with me growing up. I don't mind if someone comes up and asks me questions. Oh, why do you wear your hair like that? Okay, I'll tell you why. I'll break it down for you. I'm a firm believer in communication. And if we have honest conversations with each other, a lot of those stereotypes, a lot of the preconceived notions that have been formulated, not just by them, but by us too. Because you have to understand, oftentimes we operate in defense mode. Because we can't be too loud. We have to make sure we're speaking a certain way. We have to make sure we're representing, because when we go some places, oftentimes it's not just us. We become a representative for an entire culture. And I feel like through conversations, events like this, we can change all of that. I try to do that with my acting, with my comedy. I try to break down those racial walls, those racial barriers. I'm like, you know, a funny girl that's trying to break down those walls, but never get it twisted. I am who I am unapologetically wherever I go. You understand what I'm saying? Wherever I go. You can catch me outside with some big African earrings on and an African skirt. Why? Because I felt comfortable wearing it that day, and I'm not going to apologize for it. One of the biggest things that I have going right now is I am the owner, I have a nonprofit organization. It's called the Butterfly House Effect. And that is my way of breaking down those walls, because the Butterfly House Effect is for women and children who are victims of domestic violence. That doesn't just affect black women, that doesn't just affect white women, that affects 1 in 4 women. So with my Butterfly House Effect, that's one of the ways that I reach out to the community, and I try to break those barriers down, to let anybody know that I don't care what color you are, if you need help, my organization will do everything that we can to uplift you, to get you out of that situation safely, and to get you started back on your feet the right way. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. One of the biggest things that I will say, this is something that I personally experienced, it's never wrong to ask a question. We all have different systems in which we were raised, and you may have been raised with something and you feel like, no, this is true because like my granddaddy told me this about y'all. It's not necessarily true, but don't be afraid to have an honest conversation, and never be afraid of black girl magic, because it will change your life too in the best of ways.